Hello, friends. This is Dr. Alicia, your marketplace ministry consultant, Gullah Geechee girl, and all things fabulous. Just wanted to chat with you for a few minutes. I have some time before I fly back home to South Carolina. So earlier today, I posted a note or an invitation inviting you to, if you are in the process of a late term birthing process. And I'm not talking about a late term birthing process in the physical, but I'm talking about one in the spirit, or one in philosophically speaking, where you have been assigned something to do this year, 2018, but you haven't done it yet. And so this morning I was reading about late term pregnancies and how the gestation period, and how when you're getting in that 41st, 42nd week period of time, the doctors have to consider, what do we do if this baby is not trying to get into the world? And we all know that when a woman has been pregnant, for the necessary weeks for the gestation process and the development of the baby, when she has not given birth, the doctors will induce her labor, or induce or provoke or create a circumstance in the body where the baby is technically invited to come into the world. And then, of course, there is another procedure where the doctors go in and they remove the baby. But I want to be your digital midwife. And when I say being your digital midwife, my prayer is that this is a reminder that there is still 86 days to go. And I know oftentimes when you're trying to launch something, when you're trying to birth something, whether it's a ministry, a book, a business, a product, a service, especially if it's something that it requires many processes. So let's say you want to invent something and you have to go through the patent process and you have to experiment and research. That sometimes can get discouraging because it seems like you're always hitting a brick wall. But I wanted to remind you today that you still have 86 days to birth that thing that God gave you, not just this year, but some of us haven't birthed things God gave us last year and in 2016 and 2014. In 1964, you are still in the birthing process. So I want you to do a couple of things between now and the next 86 days. I want you to focus. And often when I minister to you, I'm ministering to myself because I'm reminding myself what I need to do to birth what it is that I've been assigned to. So I want you to focus. I want you to ask God for focus so that what your hands have been assigned to do, that you would be diligent in being a good steward over that. So if it is writing a book, you need to focus on possibly the writing process, the editing process, or even the research process of how you get your book from the computer to the world. How do you go about, whether it's CreateSpace or finding another publisher? How do you get that book to the world? Maybe God is calling you to create a book and you need to be with a mass market publisher. That means you have to sit down, write a query, write a proposal, maybe even get a coach or someone who pitches your proposal. But you have to focus. And then the other thing I want you to do is consider the cost. What is it that you have to forego? So I'm in a season of there being some things I have to forego or not do because I'm making an investment in another area of my life. But you might have to consider, what are those things I have to reconsider? Yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I posted something about having to say no and being a good steward over your resources. And so there are some times when we're about to birth something, we have to let go some things. If you're a pregnant mom, sometimes you have to let go of some of the things that you like to eat because it doesn't sit well in your stomach and it doesn't sit well in your system. And so you might have to cancel some things in your life to birth whatever it is that you're called to birth. And then the last thing, I want you to be in prayer, not only in prayer for your vision, not only in prayer for wisdom, not only in prayer for focus, but I want you to begin to pray that what it is that you're birthing is going to be received by the masses. Maybe what it is that you're birthing is supposed to be for one or two people, but I believe that God is calling us to birth some things, some messages, some businesses, some products or some services that the masses will need. And to do that, we have to ask God to prepare their hearts, to prepare their minds, to make room and to make space for the things that we are birthing, because it's nothing like birthing something and then nobody knows what to do with it. I mean, most times babies come into the world and now they have these little things called the sip and see, where you come and see the baby and you want to see the birth and who the baby looks like. Well, I want you to be able to have a sip and see in the natural, where people will come to see what it is that you have birthed. They are waiting in anticipation to see what it is that you have to birth. And anytime when someone has a baby, when I went to my loctician yesterday, they recently had a baby shower because her daughter's having a baby. And so her customers were bringing gifts. She was smart. She invited all the customers to the baby shower. Well, when people are waiting in expectation, they're also wanting to journey alongside you and participate in the work. They want to share and they want to help you. So maybe you need to stop being so prideful, and you need to, hey Jermaine, help people understand what it is that you're about to birth. And it might be possible. Sorry, I got a call. It may be possible that they can assist you in some way, but unless you tell people what you need assistance with, they won't ever know. So in preparation for the baby, they went and had a registry, okay? And they were telling people what the baby needed, what they thought the baby needed. And so maybe in your time of discernment and prayer, you can start making a list of all the things you need. So when people ask you, how can I help you? You know what to tell them. And so my prayer is that in the next 86 days, you can focus. You can figure out what it is that you need for the birthing process, and you can prepare for your sip and see so that people can share in the beautiful thing that's going to be birthed. But you got 86 days. I have 85 days, 86 days. I'm hoping to put out my second book. People are always asking about my second book. Do you still only have the one book? And I'm like, I still only got the one book. They're like, we're waiting for it. We're waiting for it. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to have all the formal book releases and book signings like I did with the first one, because it was exhausting. But the second time around, I know that I'm supposed to release it. And when it's released in the earth, then space will be made for it. Okay. And so I hope that as you would listen to the replay, you would be encouraged. If you were encouraged by this message, I pray that you would leave a comment and share it with someone. Maybe someone else, they've been in a birthing process more than 9 months, more than 42 weeks. It might have been 42 years, but it is time for that baby to come to life. For that business, that ministry, that product, that service, whatever you have been straddling the fence about for so many years, it's time for it to come into fruition so that you can continue to do what it is you're called to do. So, hey, Kim, thanks for coming on. Please listen to the replay. I am excited in the next few weeks. I'll be doing a launch for my brand. So you get to see my new website and all that I've been birthing over the past couple of months. But there are still some things that the website won't necessarily chronicle that, I'll be birthing and sharing with the world in the new year. But I got to get the process going now. So take care. And as always, continue to look and live. Have an amazing weekend and, get to work. You got 86 more days.